Hope you guys are doing well. This is Giants Amongst Us, where we share in the unique human experience, and it's where you're going to hear real stories that are told by real people, people just like yourself. And if you're new, if you have no idea what we're about over here, you can check the show notes and you will find a link where you can listen to past stories, past guests, and what they're going to do is share their testimonies and their raw accounts of how they overcame struggles, challenges, setbacks, and created something better for themselves. So this is about bringing a light of hope. This is about bringing inspiration, encouragement, and planting seeds to any of you right now who are struggling with your own demons or challenges. You're in a rut, you're in a dark place, and you feel as if life is hopeless, life is meaningless, you have no value. This is to remind you that life does have value. You have value, and you're worth the effort. It's going to be up to you to realize it. There's a giant within all of us, and may these stories and these accounts and these testimonies wake you to that fact. So what I wanted to do today was, hopefully I could package this short and sweet and just break some bread and talk about something that was on my mind, something that I kind of just let spin up top for a little bit and wanted to shoot it here to whoever it may concern. You let me know how you feel about it afterwards. You can write a comment, you can leave a message, you can even reach out to us via email. But this is having to do with perspective and attitude and the power of thought, and something that we can do today, something that I've been doing for a little while now, making a practice of it after my breath work. I'll put about 10 to 15 minutes in and implement this into my daily routine. And maybe it can help you along the way as you navigate and maneuver through this wonderful dance we call life. But first, I just wanted to paint a little picture. Things didn't pan out exactly like this, but bear with me. Two people sitting on a bench, two groups of people. On one end of that bench is a man, and he's watching the birds. He's watching people walk around. He's disgusted with himself, with the way things are going. He's in lack. He's discouraged. He's beat up by the way life has played him. And he's looking at the birds and even envious and jealous. Look at the way they fly around. They don't have a care in the world. They don't have to worry about bills and family problems. And they're even doing something that I could never in a million years do. Fly. Envy, bit of rage, disgrace, shame at his condition and what he's amounted to. Then you have on the same bench on the other end, two boys, curious, wide-eyed, looking at the way the birds, those same birds, are flying around, flocking through the sky. Their movements, the wings, the way the wings were being used to help lift them up, and the way they would maneuver and navigate rhythmically through the skies. And they just were fascinated, in awe, and thinking to themselves, almost simultaneously looking at each other and saying, if those birds can glide through the sky, why can't we? Those two boys later on grew up to be the ones who created and made and manufactured, engineered an airplane, the Wright brothers. Now, like I said, this isn't the way that scenario played out in real life, but just the idea of Two people watching and staring the same thing or going through the same thing, experiencing the same thing, but having a completely different mindset and perspective at what's going on. And I say that to talk about what I've dealt with for a long time with addiction and how you can fall into that pattern of being down on yourself, disgusted with your actions, but still going to it. And then you just think of like, it's just the way it is. Why even bother? And sometimes you hear that from addicts. Once an addict, always an addict. They feel helpless, they feel hopeless, they feel defenseless, they feel powerless. Some of them just give up. It's not even worth it. It's in my lineage. It's in my blood. It's in my genes. I can't shake it. I can't break it. Once an addict, always an addict. You're feeding that. You're constantly feeding that into your mental, which then translate into your emotional. And then from your emotional, it turns into your environmental and physical, where you're experiencing that in the real world, real life conditions, real life situations that you've already fascinated and imagined in your mind, and now they become a reality. This was my reality. This was what I created for myself for so long. Partly because I thought it's what I wanted. I was having fun. I was having a good time. But that program that we can get fed from the outside, and then we regurgitate it and continually feed it in our lives day in, day out, with the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we feel about ourselves. It could be consciously or unconsciously, but this is feeding this program and keeping us on that same playback loop where we seem to just be running in place and we can't take one step forward. If we do, we end up taking 5 steps back, and then we get frustrated again and we go back to what we know. So imagine, like I said, I want to try to keep this short. Imagine we've been doing this for so long already, feeding ourselves the negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, why we can't do this, why we can't do that. And then when somebody else is telling us the same thing, we believe it. And so now this is related to our subconscious as truth. It's taking it as actual, factual. So now imagine if instead of doing that, I talked about it on one of the last episodes, and I just said that it kind of sounds like fake it till you make it, but there's truth to this. There's a lot of research and studies from neuroscientists that are explaining how this works, the subconscious and the conscious, and how you can reprogram your brain. You can write a new script. This mind right here with the thoughts, the vibrational energies that come from thought, create or destroy. They can build or tear down. Everything around us that is man-made, from the architectures to the cathedrals to the highways to the byways to inventions, they were first a blueprint, they were imaginations, they were figments of someone's imagination, and then these people acted on them and started to flesh them out in the real world. But first, they started up here. It has to start there with the thought, and the thought is energy, creative energy. What do we use it for? What have we used it for up until now? And so I say that to say, with the negative self-talk, with the fear that we're fed constantly, we're feeding ourselves this. If we're not just feeding ourselves with it, we're getting it from the outside. The self, this has been happening for a while now, but there's a war going on against self, taking us away from self. For all the good that technology can do and has done, it really is being weaponized to destroy our trust in self, our confidence, our ability to think for ourselves, to live for ourselves, to act for ourselves, to be ourselves, and to engage in the world in a healthy way. So that's that's probably for another time. But so what I'm saying is, we've been doing the self-talk, the negative limiting beliefs, and giving it to ourselves, feeding it to ourselves, entertaining it for too long. Where has it gotten us? What would it hurt to just 10 minutes in a day, 10 minutes, if you're sitting down on a couch and you're scrolling, 10 minutes goes by. I mean, what is 10 minutes? Are we worth 10 minutes? This is what we can do. Find a quiet place, some solitude, some silence. Afford yourself that. You are worth it, right? Pay yourself. Sit down, get comfortable, get relaxed, and then now just imagine, meditate, reflect on all that is good. What do you appreciate about your life right now? There's got to be something. Whether you can still smell, your ability to smell and take in the senses or the aromas of fresh cooked food, the roses, coffee, whatever it is, or you can still hear. You can hear music, you can put it on and enjoy it. Music brings you happiness, even something about you. People that you still have in your life, people that you've had in your life in the past, what they meant to you, how they helped you, what they taught you, the relationship that you had, something, goodness, promise, things that you aspire for, you hope towards, you would like to build something with or become, a goal, whatever it is. Love, dreams, intuitive imaginations, whatever it is, things that are good. You meditate on this, you think of this, you feed this to yourself. And anytime something ill, something destructive, something negative comes in, you don't judge yourself for it entering your domain. But you also don't grab a hold of it and start to entertain it. You don't pull it in. You just let it pass by, like when you're looking at the sky and the clouds just roll by. And then you counter it with something good, something positive. Where you want to be, where you see yourself, where, like in school, we had an experiment. If you had $1 million, or if you can do whatever it was in the world that you would like to do, write it down and just live through that as a imaginative exercise. And if that is good, if that isn't destructive and it's not going to take the freedom or the life or the health away from somebody else. So you think on these things. You let them fill your mind. You let them even translate, and you might even start to feel butterflies, excitement, warm. You allow that to fill your mental space, translate down into your subconscious, and get right there in the solar plexus that is connected to the universal mind. It's a powerful thing. Powerful thing. All the religions in the world, they speak about this energy, this creative force. And we also share in that energy in that creative sport, and we also share in that creative energy. So you think about these things, you reflect on these things, you sit on it, you allow it to just fill your emotional space, your mental space, your spiritual space, and you give that a good 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, maybe it might even go longer, 15 minutes, just once a day, do that. And see what happens if things start to shift, if you don't react the way that you once reacted, if you start to think differently about the choices that you made and you start to make different choices, conscious choices and decisions that are better, that are leading you towards that path that you imagined yourself or you would like to be. See if that doesn't start to shift and change in your attitude. Starting up here, like I said, that creative, vibrational energy that we have, the power of thought to either create something wonderful or destroy and just rip us apart. So that's just a little something that, like I said, I've implemented into my life, and I make it a point after my breath work because I feel like I'm calm, my body's relaxed, I'm in a good space, and I have a good container to sit quietly and to just reflect on what is good, what I'm grateful for, my gratitude, and speaking, thinking, and soaking up what is good, building me up rather than tearing me down. So this is just something I wanted to share, something that I do, and maybe this might help you out. I mean, it's worth a shot. Give it an honest shot, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, see what it does. But for me, it's been a great addition to what I do after breath work when I'm already relaxed, I'm calm, and I'm in a good headspace, and I'm open to just allow myself to reflect, to be thankful, to be grateful, and to think of where I would like to be, to think of the good in my life, and to just give myself some self-care, self-love, and self-reflection. We are worth it. It's crazy now, for even me to be talking about these things, because had you known how things were going some years back, there's been a big shift. And so I know what it's like to be struggling with a lot of different things: anger, depression, bad habits, no self-control. And I also know that there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And when you're ready, I mean, if you're stranded, struggling, flapping to stay afloat in the ocean, and somebody throws you a lifeline, you still have got to grab it and pull yourself up. So there's got to be some effort. And like I said, this isn't for everybody. This is just for those people that are ready. And even if you're not ready, may these be the seeds that are planted and one day flourish and blossom into something beautiful. So you guys, be cool. We're going to catch up and do this again real soon. There's another story that I'll be sharing in this upcoming week. And let me know how you feel about the whole ordeal, how things are going at your end. If you're curious, I had a video that I just posted, and I was sharing a bit of Germany, some sights of East Germany. Gera is the name of the city. It's a city actually, where my wife grew up, and she moved out west to the Hessen area when she was 17. But it was just a bit of the walk outside of the garden where my in-laws have their garden at. And yeah, it was a cool little video. If you want to see a little bit of East Germany, calm, simple life, you might enjoy it. But you stay safe, stay sane, and We'll do this again real soon. Peace.